Today on BRStv we have the Marinepure biomedia. Marinepure is a fantastic replacement for standard bioballs and an interesting solution to add more surface area to any system for additional biological filtration. Aquascaping has come a long ways in the last few years, and the use of negative space is becoming a lot more popular. I found a good example of this on the Reef Builder's blog. Selective use of structure and open space can really create an attractive aquarium. However, by its very nature, there isn't a lot of surface area for filtration, so you'll have to limit the amount of livestock as well as feedings, unless you want to find additional ways to add bacterial filtration to the sump. I've seen this done with live rock rubble, as well as actual live rock added to the sump. Sadly, most of us don't have a whole lot of extra space in our sump, so using a high surface area product like Marinepure is a pretty attractive option. It's hard to believe, but a gallon of Marinepure spheres has around 600 times the surface area as the same volume of common bioballs. Each individual sphere has 130 square feet of surface area. This is because of the interconnected pore network found within the media. Once you take a close look, it's easy to understand how the interconnected pores can create this immense amount of surface area. The media comes in a couple of different forms, including spheres and blocks. In most cases, I prefer the 1.5-inch spheres because of the flow characteristics and they're easy to implement. Other reefers like the blocks because you can just find a high flow area of the sump and set it down. One of these large blocks actually has around 20,000 square feet of surface area. So you might take a look at that block and think it looks pretty solid and wonder how much flow is actually going to go through it and how much of the surface area is really available for filtration. So I went ahead and set up a demonstration to show exactly how interconnected the pore network is. To do this, I siliconed a plumbing fitting to the top of the block so we could run some water through it. As you can see, the water readily finds its way through the vast pore network. I hope after seeing this, it's a bit easier to imagine the bacterial population found within. If you happen to be running a wet dry with bioballs or planning one in the future, I'd consider using the spheres as an option, not only for the obvious surface area considerations, but also because they're less susceptible to power outages. During a power outage, the plastic bioballs can actually dry up fairly quickly and kill much of your nitrating bacteria. However, with the Marinepure product, the interconnected pore system of the ceramic media actually stays wet much longer. And if you think about it, over a long enough timeline, you're probably going to run into a power outage where this could easily make the difference. If you are interested in being notified when we make new additions to BRStv, you can sign up for our newsletter found on almost every product page. You can also log into your account and hit the Newsletter Subscriptions tab.